And you are a photographer and business owner in Tacoma. It's nice to have you with us and nice to have the sunshine out.
Yes.
On a Friday as we enter into the holiday weekend. So you have several roles with this company called Maxwell Synove Photography down in Tacoma. Co-founder, creative director, head photographer, so many titles, so many hats. Let's talk about what inspired you to get into photography and doing a little reading. It sounds like you're fairly new to the industry, but what got you involved?
Well, I take a lot of pictures of my kids, and it's always been a hobby for me, but what really kicked off my career in photography is my son, who's 3 years old, got an autism diagnosis when he was 2. And at the time, I was a software engineer and just didn't have the flexibility to take on a more supportive role for him, as I learned that he would need some more support as he develops.
Yeah.
So once he got his diagnosis, I made that decision and kind of switched over to photography full time.
And that was just a couple of years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's been about a year now. Yeah.
So fairly recent, but you do some incredible work and sort of looking at some of the pictures that you've taken. I want to ask you about your background and kind of the influence with your photography work. And you talked about the diagnosis with your son, but I know that you also spent some time in Germany and Italy. And as a member of the LGBTQ community, also knowing that your business is grounded in Black LGBTQ women.
Yes.
Yeah. Talk about some of the background that you have that influences some of your work and your experiences that you had over abroad in Europe too.
Absolutely. Well, growing up, moving every so often, and then moving overseas and spending a lot of my formative years there, I really got to know a lot of different kinds of people and learned that everyone has a story.
Yeah.
So being a conduit for people to tell that story through portrait photography has been a really strong focus of mine. And as far as being a member of the LGBTQ community, it's so important for people to feel comfortable and seen when they come into the studio. I feel like if there's tension or people don't feel heard, it kind of translates into their photos.
Yeah.
So I really put a lot of effort on letting people know that we're a safe space and we're really welcoming and want to get to know you and want to share that experience with you.
As I say, you are welcome here.
Yes,
I
exactly.
love it when people say that. I know in a recent article about your story, the writer noted that you're on a mission to capture the beauty and authenticity of Black love as well.
Yes.
Explain what that means.
Well, for me, growing up, I didn't see what's thought of to be the traditional, loving family roles.
Yeah.
A lot of time I was spread out from my family across the country, moving along with my mom. And as an adult, I can see that having those relationships is so important to people, and being anchored in love is so important to people. So when I have the chance to actually experience another person, family, couple's love, and translate that into an image that lasts forever, it's really just an honoring moment for me.
And seeing something that in the grand scheme of things is not seen as much as it should be.
Exactly.
Out in the world these
Exactly.
days, right? I know that you talked about doing headshots, doing glamour work, event photography, that sort of thing, portraits as well. What are some of your favorite things to shoot?
My favorite things to shoot are my children, but I really do love portrait photography. Having that intimate moment with someone, learning where they envision themselves and helping them bring that out is just really, it's been a challenge for me to have that, and so being able to do that for other people is just so rewarding.
When you're doing that type of photography work, what are some of the challenges that arise? I mean, obviously nerves is one of them, I'm sure, because
yes.
people are like, oh my gosh, there's a camera in my face.
Exactly.
But what are some of the challenges that you have with that work?
Really just letting people know that we're not on a time crunch, we can take it slow, spending that time and effort to build some rapport and have a relationship really helps people to take a deep breath and relax into the moment. But then of course, as I start shooting, I'll share photos as we're going along, and once people see oh wow, this is really coming to life, that really helps to seal the deal.
As a photographer, how do you know that you've got the shot?
You just feel it. You just feel it.
It's one of those things that I mean, do you sort of learn that, I guess?
You do. You know,
about?
every shoot I have notes for myself at the end, like, oh, next time I'm in this situation, I'll do this beforehand, or just ways to make it easier for the client and easier for myself along the way. So constantly learning.
Congratulations on your success, and good luck going forward. I know that you're fairly new in the industry, but do some incredible work, and it's going to be exciting to see where things go.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for coming in.